Clearly, countries after countries have turned themselves from economic non-entities to powerhouses. And I believe it is India's turn now. That is why the subject of our conclave, India, global giant or pygmy, is extremely relevant.
In one area where India is an undisputed global giant, it is democracy. In 55 years, if you look at all our neighbors, India is the only oasis of democracy, where democracy survived for last 55 years.
Beginning from Emperor Ashoka, your culture has been going all the way down to Vietnam and into East Asia. And long before the Americans came to Vietnam, you all sent a Brahmin to establish the kingdom of Una, so I don't think you can be called a sleeping giant. Always Sri Lanka and South India has been the center of trade in the Indian Ocean. Now how do you access the ports? Trincomalee is in use now. At the moment, the Indian Oil Corporation has taken over the tanks and they are developing the oil facility in Trincomalee. We can send in ships, we don't require breakwater, we can expand. The existing facilities are underutilized. But how do you get this across to India? Now we looked at it. And the best day was 22 miles of shallow water joining Talemana to Rameshwar.
What are we doing? What sort of roadmap are we setting out for the future? The cost, political cost, the economic cost, the human cost is so terrible.
We cannot leave our younger generations this legacy of hatred. Never in my career, in 21 years of international cricket, did I ever see that love and affection in any other country than we saw in India in '79.
Actually, on account of my age, hoping that the Kashmir problem will be solved by the time I become Prime Minister, so that I can take care of... so that I can take care of everything else.
ये जो दायित्व में सहयोग की भावना चाहिए, ज्यादातर पॉलिटिकल एजेंडा प्रीडोमिनेट होते हैं और उसी के कारण, और जब तक एक देश में कलेक्टिव एटमॉस्फेयर हम क्रिएट नहीं करते हैं कि पॉलिटिक्स से भी ऊपर कुछ दुनिया में चीजें होती हैं जिन चीजों को हमने स्वीकारना होगा और उसके आधार पर आगे बढ़ने की रणनीति बनानी होगी, हम माहौल में बदलाव नहीं ला सकते हैं। हम हिंदुस्तान के 8.2% ग्रोथ की सबकी इच्छा है, उसको पूरा करने के लिए गुजरात में 2% ज्यादा ही सही, चलो दायित्व दे दिया, सबकी इच्छा है, लेकिन उसको पूरा करने के लिए जो मैकेनिज्म में मुझे हेल्पिंग हैंड चाहिए, अतिरिक्त मदद न करें लेकिन वो अपना हिस्सा बनाए तो भी मैं कर सकता हूं। इसलिए हम जिन पोटेंशियल एरिया को समझ पाते हैं उसको स्मूथ करने के लिए हमारे पास कोई रास्ते हैं क्या?
Filmmaking and the business of filmmaking is one of patience. So unless they waited outside my office for 1 year at least, I knew, and if they left in 6 months, I knew that they would never be filmmakers. So what do? The essence of filmmaking. Then when they joined me, I would say, beg, borrow, or steal. If anybody gives you a camera, or you have to steal the money, your job is to make a film. Your honesty comes in the film you make, not how you get the money, right? When Spider-Man takes his mask off, he'd probably be Chinese or perhaps Indian. He will not be American.
Ours is a history of missing the bus, repeatedly. In the early 1960s, India and South Korea were at the same level of development. Today, Korea's per capita income is almost 20 times higher than India's. Almost the entire Southeast Asian region and China have passed us by right in front of our eyes.
We are the largest democracy of the world. This is really only because of our population. We all have contributed to it, but there is nothing great to contribute to become a largest democracy. We are a 1 billion nation, so we have to be the largest democracy of the world. We have to become the best democracy in the world.
When politicians can speak with candor of their own inadequacies, Lawyers stress the need for self-improvement, and chief ministers acknowledge the need to learn from each other. They mean that the mood in India is responsive to change and reform. We are impatient with the present and look to the future with optimism.
I feel that this matter, even if you get the two big leaders today of the principal political parties to come together, to cooperate, to coordinate with each other rather than with these other people, जिनको तो जैसे मेंढक उस तराजू में रखते हैं, दो को रखो एक निकल जाता है, but they are always attempting, instead of cooperating with each other, they are always attempting to bring this sort of confluence, hold these groups together.
Wherever there is a vision, we were in a position to succeed. The lesson we learned, whenever there's a crisis, whenever there's a problem, the Indian leadership, the Indians blossom into a leader, good manager to solve the crisis. So, in short, a transparent, bold administration. Second thing is, what I'm worried, low aim. Low aim I'm worried. Low aim is our enemy. Low aim is the crime. So each one of you, particularly since you have got children, grandchildren, please don't pump on them low aims. Allow them dream. Dream makes thoughts. Thoughts result to action. We are the result, the nation itself. The first vision, the dream, that is, I need freedom. Second vision, I need live in the developed India. Don't curb the thoughts of young children.